my channel. My name's Tina and today is another one of my makeup and murder Sundays. This is a true crime get ready with me. Although this one may not be a true crime, it has been featured in other true crime documentaries, so we're just gonna go with it. I'll have more facts about that as we go. We are talking about Vera Renczi. She is a lethal lover. That's who we're talking about today. My look today will be this purple kind of violet look that is really spring. So I thought this would be kind of fun. So let's jump into this video. As always, I will show you most of the makeup I'm going to be using first. If you have any questions, all the information about what I'm wearing will be down there, as well as my sources for this video. As always, I list those as well. Without further ado, for primer, I'm using my Cover FX primer. Then for foundation, I'm going to use my Tarte Double Wear Hydrating Foundation combined with today my MAC foundation. These two hold up really well when I'm outside. For concealer, I will use my Shape Tape and my Wet n Wild. If you watch my videos, you know that that's like my go-to. For brows, I'm going to be using my Brow Gel. I may fill in a little bit with my Brow Gel pencil. We will see. To contour, I'm mostly going to be using my Smashbox sticks and my Wet n Wild stick. Please excuse all my mispronunciations. I guarantee you I'm going to be mispronouncing like most of these. We're just going to go with it. As I said, most of this happened in Bucharest, Romania. I think part of it actually happened in Kiev, I think is how Nevs. So however you pronounce that, those two places are the places where I actually found the most facts on this case from. Reports from that area are very scattered because there were wars and borders moved around a lot, and just because of the time period and just the location, things are very scattered on some of this, but this is the facts as I know them. So in the late 1800s in Romania, there was this girl. She was born into a wealthy family, her mom and stepdad. They seemed to be pretty well off. She was kind of a wild child, you know, one of those kids who just seems to get into trouble pretty easily. They sent her off to a private school. You know, things didn't really improve. She kept getting into trouble. And then at 13, something must have happened. And what happened exactly, you know, none of the sources are real clear. But her mom and dad both disappear out of the picture. I don't know if they were killed or what happened, but they disappear. So she's left to her own devices. She's at this school, then at the school at 13. And this is when people all really start talking about some of her exploits, that she was really, really into boys. One of those kids who got to, you know, really push back against authority, would sneak out and do things. And they said that she was constantly talking about boyfriends. Everything was boys, boys, boys. That's not super uncommon at that age. But one of the things that I think is really telling is that her friends say that she would get a boyfriend and then she would become obsessed with the fact that he was cheating on her or something. Even though there would be no evidence to that, that was her assumption every time. So then she would be sneaking around trying to catch this boy cheating on her. At 17, she moves back home, marries a rich businessman. She's married to Carl Stick, or some pronunciation thereabout. They have a son named Lorenzo. Everything seems to be going okay. Everybody thinks they're happy. It looks like they're happy from the outside. And they're a well-to-do family in an area of the world where well-to-do is kind of hard to come by. But he's assuming that she's perfectly happy, other than the fact she doesn't have any real family. About a year after they're married, Carl goes missing. She says that he took off with another woman. And then about a year after that, she gets this letter she shows all her friends that says that Carl was involved in some sort of accident and he's dead. Now that's a lot for somebody to go through, and people felt sorry for her and everything, but she moved on really quickly. Within just a few months, she's dating a new guy, and his last name is the Renczi that she's known by. What they have on her is her last name is the wrong last name because it is his last name, so they don't have a maiden name. She's married to him for just a few months, and he goes missing, and she tells everybody that he took off and ran off with another woman. Well, she had been telling her friends, well, she was sure he was cheating on her. And were these guys cheating on her? Who knows? At that time, especially in the upper echelon of society, cheating wasn't looked at the same way it is now, especially for men, and especially in Romania. This is an area of the world where fidelity for men is kind of lax, especially during that time. And the fact that she was so obsessed with him cheating It's kind of interesting just because at that time that just wasn't something that women in that area of the world seemed overly concerned with. I mean, it was just a cultural thing. So now her second husband has disappeared, and people aren't really asking too many questions, apparently. I don't know if this was like normal or what. You know, they disappeared. So she didn't marry anybody after this. She, you know, apparently decided she was all done with that. Probably decided it was too hard to cover up where they went. I'm just gonna take my Kat Von D Plum palette and use this lightest shade here and put that all over my lid. And now I'm gonna take that violet out of the Smashbox palette, and I'm gonna go over the top and blend in with where I just put that lightest shade of the Kat Von D palette, putting it everywhere. The only place I'm avoiding with it is my very inner corner where I'm gonna want some lighter color. I want this color to pop through. So now I'm gonna use my Juvia's Place, this purple out of it, and my PUR Cosmetics has a really nice purple in it. And I'm just gonna use those two shades and build up my outer corner and really try to emphasize this violet purpley color. And I'm gonna start with the one in the PUR palette because it is a little darker. So these two guys go missing. You know, nobody really seems to say anything about it. She stops going after and marrying men. Now she starts going after married men and dating them. They start disappearing. There doesn't appear to have been too many rumors about this. At first, nobody's really talking about it or anything. They're just kind of gone. And I sort of wonder, because of the case in Knieve, when they talk about it, they actually think that there was quite a few women involved in it and that they were killing off their cheating spouses, which is why I'm pretty sure these two cases are actually one case. You know, dates and people got mixed up. So this goes on for a while where these guys are going missing. So what she was doing was she was luring these guys in, having affairs with them, and then when she would get bored with them or whatever, she would kill them off with arsenic and then put them in a zinc-lined coffin that she kept in her basement, because that's not weird. And at some point, her son discovers this. One of the accounts say that he was 10 and he went down to the basement, he found the coffins, and said he was going to tell. One would think that, you know, she could have worked her way out of that. The other one is that he's a little older. He comes in and he tells her, you know, he's got a girlfriend and he's thinking about getting married, and she poisons him and is holding him in her arms in his last moments of life, saying, you know, I will love you forever, you'll never be away from me now, you're always going to be a part of my life. Whatever, just creepy bullshit. Both of them are just creepy. And the fact that nobody said anything about these missing men until quite some time later. Finally, one of the wives, her husband is cheating on her. She knows it. She follows him to Vera's home, realizes that he never comes out. She goes and contacts the police. They go inside her home and they find that she has 35 coffins in her basement that include her 2 husbands and her son. I'm pretty sure that this is a combination of a couple of cases, just a mistaken where it happened at. There is evidence this basically did happen, because in Gniez, in Hungary, there is a case where 35 bodies were exhumed and tested for arsenic poisoning. We know that that did happen, and we know that it was predominantly men and that they were killed by jealous wives or lovers. There is nobody named as the actual culprits in that, at least nothing in English. On a lot of the shows that I've watched, the very earliest, deadliest women talks about her very briefly. She's in a book about female serial killers. If this isn't true, it's really become a legend in its own right, and it has picked up a lot of really pinpointed details, which doesn't usually happen in urban legend cases. Most things like Bloody Mary are based in some sort of fact somewhere along the line. So I'm just gonna take my Champagne Beauty for Real and do my inner waterline real quick. So I'm gonna take a little bit of shimmer from my Peanut Butter and Jelly palette and just put it over here. I'm just putting it out of the on the outer part of my lid, just to give it a little bit of sparkle right there at the corner. Dampen my brush. A lot of the people who talked about this case have said that they thought that she killed for love and that this was all about love and keeping love to her in some twisted, sick way. I don't know that exactly I think that's true. I mean, maybe it kind of is, but I think her bigger issue here is she has some serious abandonment issues, and those abandonment issues are coming out in this way that she can't let them go ever. Like, even dead, she can't let them go. She's got to hold on to them, which is obviously pathological and really wrong. I'm taking my Ciate eyeliner. I'm just gonna line my eyes real quick. Now I'm gonna use my Better London mascara. So I have Milani Romantic Rose Blush. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Better London and just warm up my face a little bit since I'm gonna be outside. So for lipstick, I'm gonna use my Smashbox in Rogue something. I don't know. I never can read that one. It's a weird name. For highlight, I'm going to go with my latest highlight obsession, which is the Smashbox Vlada. I love this highlight so much. My ideas on her are has problems with abandonment and she doesn't want to be left alone, combined with lack of empathy. Because she's killing people's husbands and they never know where they are. They never have any sense of closure, and she's living around them every day. And you can't figure that 35 women, or even, 30 women, are going to be okay with you taking off with their husbands. I mean, that just defies belief. So I think that she just doesn't give a shit about, she's all about her own needs. And that's kind of true, I think, with most serial killers. They don't really give a damn about the rest of us. It's all about what they feel and what they want and meeting their current wants and needs and everything. Everybody else is just, oh, well, they have to deal with it on their own. I definitely think that she's a narcissist, and I think she's got some serious issues with letting go of things. Most people move on after somebody leaves them in some form or fashion, but maybe the fact that her parents disappeared out of her life so young caused this for her somehow. I am going to take just a little bit of Rose Gold Retro and put that on my inner corner just to give this a little bit of sparkle. And I'm just doing a tiny little amount just so that every now and then it picks up the light and sparkles back. This is pretty much my look. I might add some lashes to this. I'm undecided. Let me know what you thought of this case. I realize it is kind of skipping around, which happens with these very old cases in, rural or out of communication areas. The thing about this one was, as I said, I have my sources linked below. There is a case, and it is well documented, that they exhumed all these bodies and were testing them for arsenic. And I have a feeling that those cases combined together and created this one case that everybody talks about from that area. I don't know that for positive. That's just my thoughts on it, and that's my thoughts on her. So let me know what you thought. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye!